Hello everyone. So in this video tutorial I'm going to explain you how to write our own ttyname function, and we will call it my ttyname function. And this function will be very similar to the library function ttyname, and it's going to take as a parameter the file descriptor, and it will return as a pointer on a static chain that contains the name of the matching file that's searched in dev.pts folder. And in other case, in any error cases, we will set that it will return us null in any cases, so also if the file is not found. And also the fields we need to mention this part as well. The fields stdev and stino of stat structure identify a file in a unique manner in the system. It means that these fields of the stat structure are very unique for each file. So you cannot have two different files that has the same inode number, or two different files that has the same stdev part value as well. And as a hint, it's written here that use data types dir, struct, dirent, as well as the function open dir and read dir. So let's see how we will do it. Firstly, I want to explain you what's tty. When we write tty command on the terminal, we see some outputs like that, dev.pts and 2. 2 means the name of this particular terminal, and the name of this terminal is 2. So as you know, in Unix-like systems, everything is file. Devices are also file, and terminal is a character device and it's a file. So its name is 2 for this terminal. If I do open another terminal and if I do the same command, I will see that tty name is dev.pts 3. And if I ls everything under this dev.pts folder, we'll see that there are the names of the files 0, 1, 2, 3, because I have opened 4 terminals, and also multiplexer, which does some functionalities like redirecting things to this terminal or another terminal, etc. So terminal is something that we can read from it, and also we can write something to it. For example, let's write something to this terminal. Let's write hey to this terminal. So I will echo hey to dev pts, and the name of the terminal is 3, so I'm gonna write 3, and you will see that hey is appeared on this terminal. And if I want to write to this terminal, which is the terminal number 2, or terminal name 2, I need to change the name here to 2, and as you see, we do not have any output appeared on this screen, but if I check this terminal, I will have hey appeared here. So it means that we can write to terminal and we can read from the terminal as well. So this is the information I want to show you. I want to let you know about tty. And in here what we will do is to find out the file descriptor is which tty, or the file descriptor is connected to which tty. And so we need to write the my ttyname function, and my ttyname function will return as a pointer on a static chain, pointer to the path name, let's say in a short way. And we'll take file descriptor. So it will return as a pointer, char pointer. So that's why I have to declare the function as like this. And I'm gonna call it my ttyname, and my ttyname will take as argument file descriptor. Okay. So what it will do here? Firstly, I need to check the file descriptor. The terminal of this file descriptor is equal to the name of the terminal here or not. That's why we will need two different stat members, struct stat members. The first one, I will call it st_in because it will be inputted, or if it will be entered by the user, so I will call it st_in. And the second one, I will just call it stdev because it's already under the dev folder. And by the way, you see I have defined two macros here. The first one is 256 for the name of the file, for the size of the path name. And also I have defined dev, which is dev pts, as the path that we will use for path name. Yes. So I have for now I need two struct stats, st_in and stdev, and st_in will be checked, or st_in will be filled by file descriptor. Meanwhile, stdev will be filled by path name. And by the way, we will see how we will format this path name, because as you see, the path name doesn't contain only dev pts but also the name of the file. So we need to have full name, full path name, full path for file name. Okay, so we will see how we will format this path name. So what I need to check is, so for stat struct, I have two functions to fill in the struct stat. So fstat and stat. I mean, I will use two functions in this program, fstat and stat. Fstat will be used for file descriptor, for stat struct. That will be filled by file descriptor. So the first argument is going to take is file descriptor, and the second argument is the address of st_in. And and as we call this function like that, it means that the file descriptor, it will take the file descriptor and it will fill in st_in struct with the data of the file descriptor. And on case of error, in error, it will return us negative value -1. I will mention it as -1, and I will just return null here. Okay, so in case of any error, we will return null. And then the second step I need to check is if this file descriptor is connected to TTY or not, or if it's a character file or not. So to check it, we have a built-in macro, which is s_is_char, the first one, and which takes as a parameter the mode of the file. So st_in.stmode, it's already filled. And if this file descriptor is not character, then I can set n number to n not tty, error not tty, and also I need to return null here. All right. So these are the two first steps I should check, or it's better to check. And the next step is to think about how to open this directory, how to read it, etc. So as it's mentioned here, use data types dir, struct, dirent, opendir, and readdir. So we will use opendir function which return us a pointer to the dir stream, and then the dirent struct dirent will be filled with the help of readdir function, which takes as argument the directory stream. So for these purposes, we need to declare data types dir, which I'm going to call dp, and then we need to have struct dirent, and which I will call d. So firstly, I want to open this directory, which I have defined here as dev. And when I open this directory, it's going to return me a pointer to directory stream. So a pointer to directory stream is dp in my case, and I will do open there, and I will open this directory, and if it returns me null, so it in case of error, in case of anything that goes wrong, it's going to return me null. So I will just return null here as well. And yes, this is checking that it's not null. Open dir function completes its work correctly. And then the next part is to read from this directory. And when we read this directory, we will fill in the struct dirent, which is d in my case. And so I will call readdir function here, and it's going to take a pointer to directory stream, which is dp in our case, and it will return us null in case of error, in case of it's finished, the name of the files, etc. in there. So unless it's not null, so unless I am in the directory dev pts, I need to read everything in there, and while I read it, I need to fill the name of the files to pass, just like this. So for now, pass is nothing. It's okay. For now, I don't have passes either, so I will declare it as static char and pass, and for the size I will give just max here. So for now, pass is empty. So we need to format it, or we need to print something to this pass. What I will use here to print something or to write to pass, I will use send printf function, because you will see why. This function takes several arguments. The first argument is the name of the buffer to which it writes, is the name of the buffer which the smprintf function will write to. Okay, right now we don't have anything in this path. Okay, it's empty, so we will write to this path. And the next parameter is the maximum number of bytes to be written to the path. So as a maximum number of bytes, I want to write it as much as the path size. And the next parameter is the format specifiers we need to think about. So when we do readdir function here, when we call it, it already filled needed data to this struct dirent. And if we check this data here, we will see that there are different fields here. I hope I can find it. Yes, actually we will need this part. You will see that there is also the inode number as well, the name. So we will use this the name, and it's already filled in when we call readdir with dp. And so we will need this part. So I will just write it like that, %f, and will explain you why we need to add more. So if I do %sdev here, what will be written to pass will be dev pts. Why? Because dev itself is dev pts, but I need to check the full path name, the full path, okay, the full name of the file, or the full path for the file. To do this, I need to add \, because it's written as \, and then the name of the file. So for the name of the file, I will put another format specifier, and the name of the file will be acquired with the help of the name. I'm using arrow here because it's a pointer to struct. So yeah, this is useless now. So by calling this function, I will fill my path one by one with dev pts 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. As much as the numbers, the files, okay? And then the printf function returns us the number of the bytes that's written to the path, and it should be less than size of path, because printf function writes as this much bytes to the name of this buffer, and puts null terminating or \0 at the end. And when it returns us the number of bytes, it doesn't include this null terminating, and it returns us the number of bytes that's written. And unless it is less than the size of the path, so it means that we have so for the first case, what we will have here is to be like this dev pts and 0. So what I will need is to fill in stdev struct with this data, and the function that takes as the parameter the path name is start, so I call start, and first parameter will be path, and the second parameter will be the address of struct that it's gonna fill in data. And in case of successful return, it returns as 0, so we check everything goes correctly. And the next thing we need to check, so for now we have stdev struct that is filled with the data that comes from path, and for this function, due to this line, we have stdin struct that is filled by this file descriptor. So those structs stdin and stdev are already filled with data. We need to check if those two structs are identical or not, and to check if they are identical or not, we have two fields, stdev and st_inode number. And then that's why I will do so let's do stdev.stdev if stdev.stdev is equal to stin.stdev. So this is one parameter to check, or one step to check, and the other step is to check their inode numbers. So stin.inode number is equal to stin.stinode number. So if they are equal, it means that this is the path I need to return, because my user wants to see the file descriptor that it is connected to this tty. So I need to see the path of the tty, or the full name of the tty. That's why I shouldn't, or I mustn't do anything else here, and I should break, because path is already having the data that I need to return. So I will return the path. Okay, but before returning path, as you see, we have to open directory stream. We have open directory stream dp, and we should close this directory stream. So close dir dp, and then we need to check another case if they could be equal to null, and if it was null, then I will return here as a null. Okay, and I think yes, this is the end for our function myttyname. I hope everything is clear so far, and you have better understanding now about ttyname. So now we need to call our function. This is how I will call this function. I will pass the as parameters 3 file descriptors, which is 0, 1, 2, std_in, std_out, and std_error. And then I will check if I is equal to 0, I is less than 3, and I plus plus. So here I will declare a function, I will declare a char pointer with p to call the function my ttyname. And as a parameter I will pass the I, which is gonna be 0, 1, and 2. And then print, so here I can print ttyname. So let's do the first tty is gonna be 0, etc. will be equal to, I want to print it just like that, so it's a string, will be equal to this, okay? And then the first parameter will be I, and the second one will be p. But here in our function I have returned null, 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 and I need to check if p is null or not. And if p is equal to null, if p is equal to null, I'm going to return print just null, okay? And in other case I will in other case I will return p, okay? And then I will return 0 here to mention that this is successful return. Yes, this is all for now. So now let's run this part and let's see if we have any mistakes. So I did compile my function, my program, and I then run it. Yeah, I see that this is the file descriptor 0, 1, and 2. Or tty is 0, 1, and 2. So 0, 1, and 2 are the file descriptors, and also they are also ttys, and they are these ttys 2, 2, 2. Okay, because this ttyname is 2. So I hope everything is clear, and in case you have any question you can ask me, and in case you have any feedback you can let me know. Thank you for your attention. See you in next tutorials.